Welcome back to this series of 3 videos where we're going through absolutely everything you could possibly want to know about automating your business through workflows inside of HighLevel. And this is a 3-part series. So this is the second video of 3 videos where we're going through the automation tab inside of HighLevel. And in the first video, we went through the basics of what workflows are, all of the workflow triggers and workflow actions that you have available to you inside of HighLevel. And we built some simple workflows using the form submitted, order form submission, and customer booked appointment workflow triggers. And then we had some text messages and emails and internal notifications and tags that automatically took place through the workflows that we set up. So those are some pretty basic workflows. And now in this video, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into workflows. We're going to work with things such as video tracking, creating opportunities, and bringing those opportunities through the pipeline automatically with workflows, and also how to decipher between who gets what information through the use of if-else conditional logic, wait functions, and trigger links. And then we'll also be assigning tasks to specific people on our teams, as well as sending automatic review requests to boost our online reputation. And all of this can be done through the workflows inside of the greatest software on the planet, which is, of course, HighLevel. So we're going to dig even deeper into all of that in this video. And again, this is the second video. So if you haven't watched that first video yet, and you're not necessarily very familiar with workflows, then I would go back and watch that first video before watching this video and really get an understanding of what workflows are, what you can do with them, and how to build some simple workflows and the structure of it all. And then come back and watch this video where we're diving deeper. And then there's going to be one more video after this where we get advanced and build more complex workflows. All of this is done through HighLevel, but in the more advanced workflows, we're going to start to integrate things such as Zapier and Pabbly and webhooks and all those things. But that's for the next video. So for the time being, in this video, let's head on over into HighLevel and look at some intermediate level workflows that you can build through HighLevel. All right, so now that we're inside of HighLevel, you can see that we're in our automation tab, and I've got an entire folder of some of the workflows that we're going to be going into. So here in the master GHL automation, I've already built the workflows that we're going to be going through in this video. And again, if you're brand new to this and you have no idea what a workflow is or how to create workflows, go back and watch that first video, because in the beginner video, I went through how to create all the workflow triggers and all the workflow actions and all the different steps in it. And I'm going to go through and do some of that in this video as well. But for the most part, with the things that we've already created and done multiple times, I'm just going to rely on the fact that I've already created them and just show you what actually happens and what's possible with this software. So if you have no idea what a workflow is, watch that first video. But to start out with this, we're going to look at this 2A intermediate video tracking workflow that I've got and show you what's possible when you embed a video onto a website or funnel that you've created inside of HighLevel, and how you can use that to add a contact tag, assign it to a user, then email them, and then use wait functions and conditional if-else logic to then determine which path you want to go down within a workflow, and then continue to use that same logic to send particular messages to those customers depending on how they respond or what they do. And so we're going to go through all of this and what it means in this video. But as you can see, we're getting a little more complex than we did in that beginner video. So let's start to dig into all this and figure out exactly how to create this workflow and what's happening here. So the first trigger link that I have here is video tracking. And so if we click into here, you can see I've just created video tracking trigger link, and I've filtered it so that it's the video duration is greater than or equal to 50. So that's if someone watches 50% of a video or more that's embedded on a site that you have created, then you can choose the funnel or the website that it's a part of. So I chose that it's a part of the 2 intermediate site that I've got, and then the video is, and I chose the video that's actually embedded on that website. So I'll show you what this looks like just so you have an understanding of what's happening, but we're setting it up so that if someone watches more than 50% of that video, it's going to set off this event. So if we go into sites and then we go into this master GHL, intermediate, and video tracking, and if we view this page, then immediately we've got this video that starts playing, and it's just a marketing video directly for my Pasco Systems agency that I've created. And as soon as someone gets to the 50% mark, so I'm just going to hit pause for now, and we'll see what happens once this workflow actually gets triggered. But you can set it up so that once someone watches 50% of that, then it goes through an entire workflow, that automation, and we're going to go back into GHL automation and video tracking. Then it goes through and all of these things happen. So it adds a contact tag of new lead. So new lead contact tag, we've been through in the previous video how to add that contact tag. It assigns it to a user. We went through that in the first video. So it assigns it to me, sends an email. So I've got the email and I've already got all the information written. So subject, good to go. And then I have, hey, contact first name. Thanks for watching this video. Here's a special offer for you. And it's got a trigger link inside of there that I set up. And I'll show you exactly why it's important that a trigger link's inside of there. But to get this trigger link on there, all I did was clicked trigger link. And the trigger link that I chose was 3 free courses. So this is a trigger link that I set up, and I'll show you where I set this up. So again, we're going to go back and we're going to go into settings and custom values. And I first created a custom value. So I've got this custom value of 3 free courses, and I put the URL that I wanted it to link to. And then I went back and I went to marketing, and inside of trigger links, I created links, and then I created this 3 free courses trigger link based on the custom value that I created. So that's how I did that. I'm going to go back into the automation, and I'm going to go back here into the intermediate video tracking, and we've got that set up with the trigger link inside. And the reason that that's important is because we use a wait function now. So I'll show you what a wait function typically looks like. And so I'm just going to type in wait, and it's this wait action. So wait, and typically you could just have it as time delay is the default, and then you just select time delay, and you can choose 48 and then minutes, hours, or days. So you can choose whatever time frame you want this to wait. And then if you wanted to, you could do advanced window and come in here and have this only resume within a particular window. So if you only wanted a workflow to resume during the week because you're reaching out to businesses and you know their hours of operation are specifically in this time window, then you can select exactly when you want this to resume. And that's how you use a time delay wait function. But there's also way more that you can use for a wait function. So you can look at just the time delay. You can wait for an event or appointment time. So if a customer books an appointment, then you can choose appointment time. And then if you want to send emails before the appointment leading up to that appointment, then you can choose wait until 24 hours before the appointment and then send them a reminder, and then wait until 1 hour before the appointment and send them a reminder with a Zoom link, and then wait until 5 minutes before the appointment and then send them a reminder with a Zoom link again. And all of that's possible with the wait function. And then you can also do overdue. So wait until before or after an invoice due date, or you could do wait until a condition, wait until a contact replies, wait until a trigger link is clicked, which is what we're doing here, or wait for an email event. So you could choose email and then specific email event, opened, clicked, unsubscribed, complained, or bounced. So all of these features are available through the wait function. But for this, how I've got it set up in this workflow, I've got it wait until a trigger link is clicked. And so if we go back, I'll show you what this looks like one more time, just so you can see how I set it up exactly. Wait until trigger link is clicked. So trigger link clicked, select the trigger link. 3 free courses is the trigger link that I put in there. And then I've got a timeout function on here. So I turn this timeout on. If you just leave it like this for wait for the trigger link to be clicked, if they never go in and click the trigger link that's inside of that email, then it's never going to progress past that wait function. So if that's what you want and you want it to just stop unless they click that trigger link, then this is perfectly fine. But if you want more options available, then we're going to do wait until trigger link is clicked, select the right trigger link, and then have a timeout period of 48 hours. So it's just going to be 2 days that we're waiting. And so now how this reads is it's waiting until that trigger link is clicked unless it's not clicked within 48 hours. And then if it's not clicked in that time frame, then it's going to continue to move on. So I'm going to show you what that means. So we've got wait until trigger link is clicked or 48 hours. So that's how that's set up. And then we've got conditional logic, which is an if-else statement. So if we add something here and we did if-else, then we could add that here. And now we choose the condition and the branches that we want to have on here. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on here. And we've got the condition is just the name of it. So was the trigger link clicked? This doesn't affect it at all, but it does just give you an idea of what's going on and what you're looking for here. And then the branches are what you're actually verifying or looking for within this if-else function. So within the branches, I've got, again, the name of it is yes, and then I set it up so that the yes branch is actually the trigger link being clicked. So I do yes, trigger link clicked is 3 free courses. So if I set all that up right here, I do if else. For action name, I would name it was the trigger link clicked. For branches, I would put yes. And then here, I would go into events and trigger link clicked, and then select operator is select 3 free courses. So now you've got the trigger link clicked is 3 free courses, which is what I'm looking for because that's the trigger link that I have in that email. You can see all the different options you have here. So if we didn't have that one, we could look for contact details and look for their name, their email, their address, their city. All that is available. We could look for date and time. We could look for workflow triggers, workflow contacts to see if they're in certain workflows elsewhere. We can do the events, which is what we did. We can look for video tracking. So did they reach a certain point of the video? Or we could look for custom values. So all of this is available in this custom logic. And you really need to come in here and play with it to understand what all of these do and really have an idea of what's available to you with this. But the conditional logic, the if-else statements are so valuable in workflows if you want to create more complex workflows and really send customers or leads down a specific path and be able to automate everything within your business. So come in here, play with these, figure out what everything does. And one thing to point out here is that if I don't have a wait function before this if-else statement, so if I tried to put an if-else statement up here, and I did if-else and looked for an event, then I'm no longer going to have the trigger link clicked because I need a wait function as the step before so that it's actually looking to see if a trigger link was clicked in that email that I sent. So it does matter where you put this if-else statement. You want to make sure that everything's very logical with workflows. So that is going to change what appears. So if you don't have a function appearing that you think you need, it may just be where you have that conditional logic within your workflow. So we're looking for, was the trigger link clicked? And we've got it set up so that the yes branch is looking for that trigger link was clicked, and the none branch, which if you just don't set up another branch, then anything else besides that event that you're looking for is going to go down this path. So now if the trigger link was clicked, we're going to go down this path. And if it wasn't, then we're going to go down this path. And I've got another wait event here So it's just a time delay of 24 hours. So there's nothing special with this wait event. It's really just an amount of time, and I've got it set for 24 hours. And the reason that I do that is because if someone clicks the trigger link, then it's going to take some time for them to fill out the form or get signed up or do whatever they need to do. And I can make this time whatever I want. If I think it's going to take them 30 minutes, I can make that 30 minutes. But I'm just adding that so it's not as soon as they click the trigger link that it checks for another event. So I'm adding a wait function, and then I'm checking to see, did they sign up? And the way that I have that set up is, did they sign up? Yes. I'm looking for contact information. So I'm looking for if I come in here, I'm looking for contact details and tags. So tags includes, and then in here, I've got customer. So I just search for customer. And again, this is something that we created in the first video of this series. The basic workflows that we created were set up so that as soon as someone signed up with us through an order form submission, then it tagged them as a customer. So now we can see how these workflows are working together. And based on that other workflow that tags them as a customer, now I'm checking for that. And if they do have that customer tag inside of their contact details, then it's going to send them down this yes branch. So I hope that all makes sense. That's how conditional logic works. That's how these if-else statements work. And we're going to go through and we're going to start to add conditions and segments and more to them as we progress through this video. But this is the basics of a very one or the other. It's this path or this path with this conditional logic, but we can set up as many paths as we want with these, which we'll get more advanced later on in this video. So if they signed up through that other workflow, they're going to get a customer tag. And then here we're going to check for it. And if they did, then it's going to be yes. And we're going to wait 14 days. Again, this is just a time delay. So wait 14 days. And then we're going to send them a review request through text message. We can also send it to them via email, but a review request is something that you set up in your account, in your reputation tab. You set up everything of how you want it to look and what you want it to say. And then you can just send that to customers to boost your online reputation and get you noticed more by Google and really get your business name out there, get you ranking higher, and get more customers flowing into your business. And if you don't send review requests, or if it's a manual task that takes time and effort, then you're just not going to do it as much. You're going to rank lower and you're not going to get as many customers. But with this automation, you can make this an automatic process that happens after 14 days. So it gives the client time to get onboarded, time to have their first win, time to really get going with your company. And if you're doing a good job, then this is going to automatically send a review request and you don't have to think about doing it. And then you're just naturally going to boost your online reputation and get even more customers flowing into your business. So this is an incredibly powerful tool. And to do that, you just come in here, select review request. And so right here, review request, and that's as simple as it is. And then you choose text message or email or however you want to do it. So that's if they go through all of this, they click the trigger link, they wait 24 hours, and then check to see did they sign up. So if they click the trigger link and they signed up, then it's going to wait 14 days and send them a review request. But if they click the trigger link, but they didn't sign up, then we're going to send them an email because we already sent them an email up here and it seemed to work. They opened it, they clicked the trigger link, but then they didn't sign up. So we're just going to send them another email that says just checking in. And I put a template on here that's a demo template. You would create a template and have it say something along the lines of, hey, saw that you started to sign up. Was there any questions that I could help you answer before you got going? However you want to word it, but you know that they're opening emails. And so you're sending them another email that just gets you in front of them again and gives them another opportunity to buy whatever you're selling. So you can continue to send them more and more communications through this by just using conditional logic. Did they take the action that I wanted? Yes, no. If no, send them another email, get in front of them again, and try to sell them whatever you're selling. So that's how that works. And then here, again, it checks for, did they click the trigger link? If they didn't click the trigger link, one reason for that could be that they never opened the email. And you could set it up to check, did they open the email, and all that's possible. But if you don't set it up that way, and you're just assuming that they didn't open the email because they didn't click the trigger link, then you can try to reach out to them via a different method of communication, and you could send them a text message. So then you would just word the text message, hey, here's a special offer for you, give them another trigger link, and then you could create more conditional logic and make this as complex as you want, or keep it as simple as you want. But essentially what we're doing here is we're waiting for them to get through a certain amount of the video, and then adding a tag, assigning them to a user, sending them an email, and then using if-else statements to check, did they do the things that we wanted them to? Yes or no. And then sending them more communication. Or if they went through the path and signed up and did everything that we wanted, then we're going to send them a review request after a certain amount of time. So that's how you use if-else statements and wait functions in order to automate every aspect of your business and make more sales in your business on autopilot. So that's the video tracking. And one note about this is if you just have this as a standalone workflow and you don't actually collect customer information before this, then this isn't going to run, because the workflow trigger of video tracking isn't going to know what customer is actually running through it. So what you would want to do is you'd want to put a form as a funnel step before this, collect all the customer information, then send them to this video, and then you could run this workflow so that it's actually collecting the customer information. It knows who's in the workflow, and then you could use video tracking as a workflow trigger, or you could use conditional logic to say, did they watch this amount of the video, and then send them through a similar process here. So there's many ways to set it up, but if this is just a standalone workflow with this as the workflow trigger, and you haven't collected customer information before setting this up, then this isn't going to work. But there is a way to collect the customer information with a form for this and then have all this work exactly how you want it to. So we're going to save this, and then that's the first workflow that we're going to look at here. And that's just using video tracking to get a message in front of a customer and stay in front of them and get them to sign up with us. And then the next workflow that we're going to look at is actually a series of workflows that we're going to use. And we're going to start to integrate opportunities with our workflows. So to start this out, we're going to go into our opportunities tab and into pipelines. And then you can see that I've got this demo pipeline created. And if you don't have any pipelines created, you would just create new pipeline. Or if you do, but you want to change it up, then you could edit your pipeline here. And I've got a very simple pipeline just to demonstrate what's happening here. And so we've got the demo pipeline and the stages. I've got new lead, appointment scheduled, closed lost, or closed won. And you can add stages here, name those, do whatever you want to customize these pipelines. But I'm just going to leave it as new lead, appointment scheduled, closed lost, closed won, and save. And so that's the demo pipeline that I've got created. And then if we go into opportunities, we can see how this looks within our opportunities tab. We've got new lead, appointment scheduled, closed lost, closed won. And so now when we go into our automation, we can set it up so that we don't have to come in here and manually create an opportunity and enter the contact name and set up their email, enter their phone number, and name the opportunity. And we don't have to go through all of this process every single time we want to create an opportunity. All of it can be automated and have the customer input information through forms, and then all of this is created, and then we can bring them through our pipeline automatically. So we're going to go through how to do all of that right now. So we're going to go back into the automation tab and Master GHL automation. And the first one that we have set up is this form submitted. So this is what's going to actually create the opportunity. And I'm not going to make these very complex workflows at all. I'm just going to show you how we integrate automation with the opportunities portion of the software so that it's all working together. And so we're just going to select the workflow trigger and we're going to do form submitted and make sure that the form is this demo form intermediate. So this is a form that I've already created. Again, I've got videos on how to create forms. It's all inside of courses that I give to you for free just for signing up as my affiliate. So I've got the link below this video. If you want to get signed up as my affiliate, you get 3 free courses, you get weekly coaching calls, you get direct access to me, and I really help you get going with this software and become successful with this software. So if you want all of that, click the link below this video, get signed up. You get a free trial so that you can get going with the software absolutely risk-free, and you get all those courses and additional help from me. So if you want all that, that's there. Or I've got other YouTube videos where I go through everything about HighLevel. So check out the YouTube channel, go through other videos that I've got. But now let's get back to it. And I've already got this form created and I've got it integrated onto a site. So here in the workflow trigger, I'm doing form submitted. I've selected the form that I want, and I'm going to save that. And now as soon as that form is submitted from that site that I'm sending traffic to, then I'm going to add a contact tag of new lead. I'm going to assign it to a user, which is me, and I'm going to create or update an opportunity. So contact tag, we've been through this, select the tag, new lead, assign a user, we've been through this, select the user, and create or update opportunity is new. So in order to do this, I'm just going to show you create or update opportunity. That's what you select. And then you go through each individual line here and you select the pipeline. So we've got demo pipeline, in pipeline stage. We're going to put it as a new lead because that's where it's at in the stage. So new lead, opportunity name. I'm going to name it contact name and contact company name. And I'll show you where we're collecting all of that information from the form. But I'll show you how I have the form set up so that all this auto-populates the name of the opportunity that we're creating. And then the opportunity source, I can just do website and lead value. Let's do $100. And status is open because this is a brand new lead, so it's an open status. And then down here, allow opportunity to move to any previous stage in the pipeline and allow duplicate opportunities. These are very important settings to manage depending on how you want your workflows to work and how you want your pipeline to be managed through the workflows. And so if you allow opportunity to move to any previous stage of the pipeline, but you also want to allow duplicate opportunities, it's not going to allow you because it's not possible for that to happen. So you're going to get this error message. So if you allow duplicate opportunities, then you can't have that turned on. But if you allow opportunity to move to any previous stage of the pipeline, then it's only going to be one. But there are instances where duplicate opportunities are necessary. And I'm actually working with a client right now to create a workflow where she has multiple orders coming in, and it could potentially be multiple orders from the same customer at different times that these orders are input. So she needs a pipeline created where multiple orders from the same customer can be in the same pipeline at the same time, but they can be at different stages. So for that scenario, I need allow duplicate opportunities, and then I'm using things like custom fields to really manage the order numbers and assign it to specific portions of different order numbers to keep everything separate. So all of that's more advanced, and we're going to cover that in the next video, the advanced workflows video, which is going to be the final video of this series. So we're going to go through how to do that in the next video. But for now, I'm going to leave this allow duplicate opportunities turned off for this video and for this workflow. So everything's set up how I want it. I'm going to save that action, and now we have pretty much duplicate because this was already created. You can notice that you don't necessarily need an opportunity source or a lead value input when you do this, but everything else was the same. So I'm just going to delete this one, and now we've got this one. So create or update opportunity, demo pipeline, new lead. We name the opportunity, source is website, lead value is $100, and then the status is open. So that's good, and that all happens as soon as the form is submitted. Settings in here, we allow re-entry, but we don't stop on response, so that's good. And we're going to save this workflow, and then we're going to go back, and I'm just going to show you what all of the different workflows that I have set up for the operation that I want are, and then we're going to start to trigger them and see exactly how things move throughout this process. So the next portion of this is appointment book. And for this one, customer books an appointment. We have customer booked appointment, in calendar, demo calendar, and this is a workflow that we already created in the first video. We have the same workflow trigger. So to prevent both of these from taking place when someone books an appointment on that calendar, I actually came in here and made sure that this customer booked appointment with the same workflow trigger is in draft mode. So both of these are not going to fire because this one's drafted. So if you have the same workflow trigger, but you don't want both of them to fire, you need to make sure one's in draft mode. So that one is in draft mode, so we're good to go. And we just add a contact tag, booked appointment, demo call, and now we're removing a tag. So in that previous step, the previous workflow that we just had, we added contact tag, new lead. But when we automatically move them to the next step in the workflow, we want to remove that tag so that it's no longer considered a new lead because they move to the next stage of the pipeline. So now we have booked appointment, demo call, and no longer have new lead. And then we're creating or updating the opportunity. And because we don't allow duplicate opportunities, it's going to remove the opportunity from the new lead stage of the pipeline and recreate it in the appointment scheduled stage of the pipeline. So if we had allowed duplicate opportunities on, then once this took place, we would then have two opportunities. We would still have the one in the new lead, and then we'd have a new one in the pipeline stage of appointment scheduled. But we're leaving this off so that it moves it instead of having two and duplicating it. So we're good to go there. And I'll show you what that looks like if we turn that on at the end of this video. But right now, how we have it set up, this is what we want. And then we leave the opportunity name the same. The opportunity source, we can go back and put website. And if you don't put anything here for the lead value, then it should leave it the exact same. So we're going to save that action. And we are good to go there. Check the settings really quickly. Allow reentry, we're good. And back to workflows. Then we're going to go to the third step, order form submission. So now as soon as they submit an order form, we're going to add a contact tag of customer because they're now a customer. We're going to remove the tag of appointment booked demo call, and we're going to create or update the opportunity to demo pipeline, closed one, and then leave it the same. All the settings are good, but we do change the status from open to one. So we are now good to go there, and we're going to save this exactly how it is. So save that action, and we're going to save, and then back to workflows. Final step of this process is intermediate opportunity lost. So the thing for this is opportunity changed. So to do this, we would go in and add new trigger, opportunity changed, and add filter in pipeline. So we would select the pipeline that we want. So demo pipeline and pipeline stage. So you select what stage of it and you do closed lost. And so now when an opportunity in the demo pipeline changes to the closed lost stage of the pipeline, then this workflow is going to take place. So we just need to double check, make sure that that's what this looks like. Opportunity changed, in pipeline, demo pipeline, pipeline stage, closed lost. So we're good to go there. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a tag of lost. We're going to remove the tag of booked appointment. So add tag, click on that, lost, remove tag, booked appointment demo call. And if it doesn't have that tag for whatever reason, then it's just not going to remove anything. So it doesn't hurt if it doesn't have the tag and you remove the tag because it's just removing nothing. But if it does have it, then it is going to remove it. And then we're going to create or update the opportunity, demo pipeline, close lost, same name, same source and lead value are blank still. And we're going to change the status to lost. So I'll show you what all this means now because we have this set up exactly how we want it. And we're going to publish this and back to workflows. I'm going to show you really quickly the sites tab, the forms builder. We're going to look at that demo form for intermediate because that's the first trigger link that we have for the first workflow. So as soon as that's submitted, then it's going to create that new lead opportunity. And so what we're collecting here is the first name, the last name, email, phone number, and company name of the contact. And all of these are required. So in order to create required, you just click on it and then make sure that it's required. And so we're pulling this information and we're going to name the opportunity, the person's name. So it's going to be first name and last name. And then we have company name. So we want to make sure that we collect all of this so that the opportunity is named correctly. So we're going to go back and we're going to go into funnels and go into the funnel step that we have this linked to. So master GHL automation, intermediate, and demo form intermediate. We're going to go to this and then we're going to input our information on this form. So now that we've input our information, I've got Bryce Newman, this email address, and then just a random phone number. And then the company name is Pasco Systems. So I click agree and I'm going to click this button. And now thank you for taking the time to complete this form. I'm going to go back and we're going to go into the opportunities, which is the pipeline that we created. And I'm going to show you exactly what was created. So now we have this new lead opportunity named Bryce Newman, Pasco Systems. And if we click into here, we can see the tasks. There's no tasks associated because we didn't have that in the workflows. We didn't have notes, but we do have what stage of the pipeline it's in. So it's a new lead. It's open. The opportunity value is $100 and it was from the website. So that's the opportunity source. And then this was a previous contact that I had created based on all of the information that I've been put over time. But if you look, we've got these 3 courses, which shameless plug, you get all 3 of these courses, the onboarding tutorial course, SaaS agency secrets, and SaaS from scratch just for signing up as my affiliate. Links below this video. 3 free courses, weekly coaching calls, a community, so much just for signing up. So get started for free, links below this video. But then we can also see that this new lead tag was added. So this lost tag was already there. The demo tag was already there. Booked appointment. I ran this beforehand. So all that was really added was this new lead tag. So I'll show you how that shifts over time. This wasn't a good example because I already had those tags from running this previously before I created this video. But I'll show you that when we move to the next stage, this new lead tag is going to disappear and the customer booked appointment tag is going to appear. So we're going to update this opportunity, but you can see that everything worked exactly how it's supposed to. The opportunity was created and now we're just waiting for a customer to book an appointment. So the same customer, when they book an appointment through the calendar that we have created, it's going to move them to the next stage of this pipeline. So if we go into our calendars and we go to calendar settings and get this demo calendar, which is where we have this linked, then we're going to share, permanent link, copy, paste that up here. And now we're going to book an appointment through this link. So we're just going to choose a time, 8 a.m., select, and enter the same customer information. All right, so the customer information's entered. It's all the same. We've confirmed to receive content from this company. And then when we schedule this meeting, it's going to say, hey, thanks for scheduling the meeting. We can click out of that, get out of that, then go back. And now when we look at our opportunities, the opportunity that was in new lead is now in appointment scheduled. And so when we click into this, we can see that all the customer information is the same and the status is still open, $100 value still, the website source stayed the same. So even though we didn't have that information in there, the value or the source, because we left those blank in the workflow, they naturally populated from the opportunity previously based on what we had when we put it as a new lead. And now when we look at the tags, you can see that the new lead tag is gone and the booked appointment demo call tag is there. So everything worked flawlessly and we are good to go here. We didn't have to come in here and move this to the next stage or move this manually. All of that happened automatically through the workflows because we set it up that way. And now you can see the next step in this, if we went into the automation, it would be order form submission. So order form submission, and once someone submitted the order form, then it would move it to closed 1 and then update everything. So if we just did that manually, which if you don't understand how to use automations and do all of this, then this is what you would normally have to do, is you'd have to drag this to the closed 1 pipeline, Then you would have to go in here and manually update, make sure that everything looks good. The closed won stage, you would have to choose status and change it to 1. And then you would have to come in here, change the tag and get new tag and change it to customer and then update the opportunity. So all of that's a manual process that you would have to do. And now you can see it turned green, it's closed won. But if someone submits an order form, then that would all happen automatically. And you can see that we've also got the closed lost is the last portion of this. So if we're on the appointment with the customer and realize that they don't want our services, we want to move them to closed lost, then you would have to go through that same manual process and change everything. But because we have the automation running, even though we need to manually shift them to this pipeline stage, everything else automatically happens. So watch this as I shift it here, then give it a little time to think, and it's going to auto-populate, and this is going to shift from 1, and it's going to turn red, and it's going to say lost, and all of that happens automatically because we have the automation running in the background. So it does sometimes take a little bit to think. So if we click out of here and then go back into the opportunities, then it populates, and now it says close lost. It's moved from 1 to lost, and everything else about it stays the same though. So that's how you, even if you're doing this manual process and moving it throughout the pipeline, you can still automate these things to happen so that the opportunity details change even if you have to move it manually. So that's how you automate every aspect of opportunities and really integrate it with the pipelines and make sure that things are moving so that when certain events happen in your business, such as someone fills out a form, someone books an appointment, someone submits an order form, then this brings them through the pipeline so that you don't have to come in here and manually bring them through the pipeline and remember to do it. All of it's happening automatically in the background so that you can focus on other areas of your business without having to worry about the minute details on a day-to-day basis that just take up your valuable time. So that's the second workflow that we're going through here. And then finally, if we go back into the automation tab, we can see that we have one more workflow that we're going to go through, and it's this intermediate Facebook lead form submitted. So when we click in here, then I'm going to show you exactly how all of this works. And it's a trigger link of Facebook lead form submitted. And to get there, you would just do Facebook lead form submitted. And then you could just leave this as blank if you want it. Anytime any Facebook lead form is submitted from paid ads that you're running, then it's going to start this workflow. Or you could add a filter and you can select in form and then select the exact form that you're running that you want to select for this workflow, that it only takes place when a certain form from a certain campaign that you're running is submitted. So that's how that works. And then it's going to start this series of events. And so we've got this ad tag, Facebook lead form submitted. We're good to go there. We've done that plenty of times. We're going to assign user to Bryce. Again, good to go. Done it plenty of times. Send an internal notification. So we're going to internally notify our team, and we have it set up so that it notifies the user assigned to the contact, which in this case is me, and it's going to send a notification through the Lead Connector app or the HighLevel app, whichever one you have. It's going to say a new lead from Facebook, and then contact name just submitted a Facebook form. A text is automatically being sent to them now, and it's going to send them a text that says, hey, thanks for filling out our form on Facebook. I just want to confirm that this is contact name. So it's going to send them a message that's saying, hey, is this the right person? Because if you've ever run Facebook ads or TikTok ads or LinkedIn ads or ads on any of these platforms, you know that many times people fill out forms and they either put random information or they put the wrong information or they put information and then they completely disregard it and forget that they did it. It's a zoo out there. So what this is doing is it's immediately sending a text to that contact as soon as they fill out that form. Whatever number is entered on that form, it's sending a text and it's saying, hey, thanks for filling out the form. Is this really you? And so then as we move along, we're going to put a wait function, and it's set up so that it's wait for contact reply to the text message. And so the way that we set this up is wait. And then instead of time delay, we're going to do wait for contact reply to the text message that we have right there. And then we've also got a timeout function. So if they don't reply within 30 minutes, then it's going to go down the other branch that we have set up here. So that's how you do it. So you would set up 30 minutes here, so 30, and that's exactly what we have created. So I'm going to click out of there. So wait for a reply or 30 minutes, contact reply, SMS, timeout of 30 minutes. And now we've got if-else conditional logic with multiple branches on it. And what we're searching for here is, was this the correct contact information? And so what we have is this the correct contact info? Lead replied, confirmed contact. So what we're looking for is the contact replied, yes. And they replied to a message which contains yes or yeah, or this is contact name, or whatever you think that they could reply that verifies that it is the correct contact, you want to put here as a separate segment. So we're going to create this, and I'll show you this step-by-step process in just a second. But right now, we're just looking for, is this the correct contact? Lead replied yes, and they replied with one of these phrases that is inside of their message. And then we have another branch that says that they replied, but it's not the contact. So replied true, and also they replied with a message that contains no or nah, or this is not contact first name. And you can just continue to add more segments of contact reply, replied message, contains. If you do is or is not or any of these other ones, then it's going to look for an exact match. But if you just put contains, then it's going to look for whatever segment of the message. So I'd like to do contains, and then you can add whatever you want. Again, we're going to go through and create this exactly in just a second, but that's how you create it, is we're looking for, is it the correct contact information, and then really specifying what we're looking for. And then when we save that, we've got all these different branches created, and now we can send a different message to the contact depending on what they replied. So if they replied and it is the correct contact, then we're going to do SMS of great, here's our offer, blah, blah, blah. If you're interested, you can book a call with us here. So if it is the correct contact because they have yes in their message, then it's going to send them a message with a link to book a call so that you can book an appointment with them. If it's not the actual contact and someone entered someone else's phone number for whatever reason, then it's going to send them a message that says, okay, sorry to bother you, hope you have a great day. And so if it's neither of those and they didn't reply within 30 minutes, or their reply doesn't have any of those phrases that we specified in their message, then we're going to send them down this last branch of none, and it's going to add a task, and it's going to say follow up with lead from Facebook form, follow up ASAP, and it's going to assign it to the assigned user, which in this case, because we have this up here assigned to Bryce, then it's going to send me a notification through the Lead Connector app or through the HighLevel app that says follow up with this form as soon as possible. It's going to add a task, and it's going to make it due now. So you can do in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. But I'm going to do now so that I'm notified that I need to follow up with this lead right now and figure out what's going on with this lead, because they didn't say yes, they didn't say no. And so we just need some human interaction in here to figure out exactly what's going on. So now the last thing that we're going to do, I'm going to show you exactly how I created this. And it's going to be if else and condition name, is this the correct contact info branch, lead replied, confirmed contact. And then the sections that we have for here, we're going to select contact reply, contact replied, true. So that's just saying it's true that they replied. And then we're also going to add a segment. You can't add a condition because then everything within this same box here, every condition that you add is going to need the same and or. So if we add, we're just going to show you date, time, current day of week is Monday. And then you add another condition, then if you switch one of these, everything has to be the same in the conditions. So we're going to delete this. So we've got contact replied is true, and then we're going to add a segment. And so what a segment is it allows us to choose and, or, and then anything that we switch within these conditions is going to have to be the same. So you can see how segments and conditions are a little bit different. So we're going to select contact reply, replied message. You can also do intent type, was it positive or negative? But if we click in there, then is positive, negative, yes, no. So you could do that. But I'm looking for specific phrases within the message just for this, for demonstration. So replied message contains, and then you want to select every single phrase that you think that they could use. So yes, and then add condition and replied message. And so right here, so then contact reply, replied message contains, and then yeah, and then you would just go through and create as many of these as possible, or you could use that intent is positive or negative, whichever one you want to use. And so then you would go through, add another condition, and then as soon as you're comfortable with that branch and it's set up exactly how you want, then you create another branch, which is that first branch is this lead replied confirm contact. This new branch that we're creating, you can see that we need to rename it. This is where it's the lead replied, not the contact. And so this is the new branch where we then set up different conditions and segments, and we set it up exactly how we did up here. So you get the idea of how this works. So that's how you create different branches, different segments, different conditions, and multiple branches for whatever you're looking for from that reply. And as you saw, there's so many different things that you can look for within the if-else statement. So if-else, and you can look for contact details, date, time, contact replied, workflow trigger, workflow contacts, events, custom values, so much inside of there. Again, you're going to have to go in and play with it yourself, figure out exactly what all is in there, create different workflows with different things, but that's how you use this if-else logic to send different messages to the customer depending on what they say, or you can assign it to someone on your team to get some human interaction in there so that it doesn't rely on automation the entire time. You can actually just automate it, create a task, and now a human on your team is going to go in, figure out the situation, and tend to it as needed. So that's it for the intermediate workflows that we're going to go through in this video. We went through video tracking and how to use that to then get in contact with the customer to make more sales. We went through how to use form submitted, an appointment booked, an order form submission, an opportunity lost, all to integrate that into the opportunities and the pipelines that we have created in our business so that we move opportunities through the pipeline automatically, and we can just start with a form submission, and then whatever we want to happen is then bringing that opportunity throughout the pipeline. You can customize the pipeline however you want it. You can set the workflow triggers so that it matches up exactly with your pipeline. There's so much customization that you can do here, but I just wanted to show you the basics of how it works with the opportunities tab with this software. And then finally, we went through how to use automation with different paid ads that you're running and set the automation for the workflow trigger as a submission from a Facebook form submission and TikTok form submission, a LinkedIn form submission, and all of those from external sources and paid ads that you're running that you have to integrate with the software. But as soon as they're integrated, then you can check for that as a workflow trigger, and then you can have different branches so that you automatically reply to customers in different ways depending on how you want to respond to them based on replies that they have. And you can see how this is starting to get a little more complex, and it's really adding so much to what we can do through automation. And you can get in contact with customers and vet leads through automation without having to spend your time going through and doing all of this manually. And so I hope you're starting to see the benefit of automation and just how much you can do and just everything that's available with HighLevel and how you can collect customer information, contact customers, and start to generate more sales and get the conversation going send review requests, and really use automation to offload as much of the manual, repetitive, daily tasks that you're doing inside of your business that are taking up so much of your precious time, and automate those things so that you as the business owner can focus on big picture things that are going to drive sales, make more money in your business, and get more customers flowing into your business. And you can focus on the high level, no pun intended, aspects of your business to grow your business. And so automation just allows you to free up so much of your time, and there's so much that you can do here. And we started to get a little more complex in this video, but we're going to get even deeper in the next video. We're going to look at webhooks and go-to functions and so much more. We're going to start to integrate things with Pabbly or Zapier if you have those. I'm also going to show you a way to use webhooks without using a paid subscription such as Pabbly or Zapier. And this is beneficial because it's a free version. And there's so much that we're going to go through in the next video. And we even have a workflow that I'm working on with a client right now that I'm going to show you how you can use multiple opportunities for the same contact, so that if you've got your business set up in a way that a customer orders something on one day, and then that same customer can place an order on a different day, and you need to keep those as separate opportunities within your pipeline, there's a way to do that. And we're going to use custom fields and really dig into how to create things and automate that entire process so that it works flawlessly. So stay tuned. Make sure to hit subscribe on this channel if you haven't already. If you're watching this video in real time, that video is going to be released next week. I continue to release content on a weekly basis that teaches you everything you need to know to master HighLevel. And if you're just getting going with HighLevel, I also have 3 free courses that I give away to all of my affiliates just for signing up with the link below this video. That's my affiliate link. It's no extra cost to you. You can try out HighLevel absolutely risk-free. There's a free trial associated with that affiliate link. So you get 3 free courses, a free trial to try out the software. You get direct access to me and weekly coaching calls with me and my other affiliates, as well as access to community where you can bounce ideas around, talk to other affiliates, figure out what's working. You get access to all of that, and it's no extra cost to you. It just helps me by using that link. I get a kickback from HighLevel, which is why I continue to support you and help you get going and become successful, whether you're creating a SaaS agency or using this inside of your business. I teach you how to master this software as quickly as possible and learn one of the most valuable skills that you can possibly learn. So if this is something that you're interested in learning, make sure to use that affiliate link below this video, get signed up, and then subscribe to this channel because I'm constantly releasing new content just like this. My next video on advanced workflows is going to dive even deeper into this material. So if you found this valuable, then we're going to get even deeper in that next video. So I'll link to that video here. And then I've also got a video that goes through the entire software. If you are brand new to HighLevel, it's a tutorial that goes through the entire software from start to finish, everything you need to know. So I'll link to that here as well. So I hope this video helped, and I will see you in the next video.